She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Alright, guys. I know that I normally keep kind of more of an upbeat content, but this is kind of serious. And I'm not going to talk about how our election went. I'm not going to talk about, Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I'm not going to talk about who I support. If you know who I support, then you know. If you want to know, go to my Twitter. There's a link in the description. That's all I'm going to say. I'm also not going to ask for any people to subscribe. I'm not going to ask for likes. I'm not going to ask for comments. I'm just going to ask you to do one thing, and that's share this video. I want you to share this video with the world. Okay? It is a direct message to people who are saying that there was a lot of voter fraud, about inaccurate tweets made by President Donald J. Trump. This is also towards people who are saying that the election was stolen, and people who are, and this is a big one, people who are violently protesting, not peacefully protesting. If you're peacefully protesting, just ignore it. But people who are violently protesting and people who are rioting in the streets. People who are storming ballot collection agencies where the ballots are being counted and are storming them with guns. I mean, actual firearms, and are making it a very difficult area for them to work. People who, no matter what side of the fence they are on, threatening people who voted for the other candidate, and etc. If you fall under any of those things or anything similar, I want you guys to listen to this message because it is directed towards you. I want you guys to really take a look. Is there actual evidence of voter fraud? We've had multiple courts all over the country that have looked at the case provided in front of them about voter fraud and have dismissed it. We've had numerous amounts of evidence showing those videos of bags of, votes, either for Donald Trump or Joe Biden, being just burned to be false. They are, if you were wondering, they were actually, and I'm not showing you any of these videos, guys. I'm just telling you because I'm making this message very clear. But they were sample ballots that you could easily print offline. You couldn't even legally mail those in. And, I mean, there were all this evidence against vote. There's all this evidence saying that people who voted were legal citizens. There was no illegal immigrants. Okay, no illegal immigrants. There was no cats, no dogs, no any animals of any kind. There were no dead people, like Donald Trump has said. All the votes are currently being counted. Some of them have already all been counted. And with all this being said, come January 20th, either Donald Trump is still going to stay the president or Joe Biden. The reason I'm saying, even though we have the final election results, I am still going to say, because Joe Biden and Donald Trump can push for recounts in states. I'm going to wait till everything is all perfectly done, all perfectly clear. I'm not saying who won. I'm not going to say who lost. Okay? But each candidate has a right to push for each, like any state that they want, as long as they'll pay for it, to have a recount. Alright? Now, with that being said, if you guys are definitely rioting, if you guys are violently protesting, if you guys are making our election to be a joke, then I am going to say this now. And I'm going to say this with 100% seriousness. Okay? You, and I mean yes, you, the people who are thinking that the election was stolen, that the election is a joke, that there were voter fraud, or that are violently protesting or rioting, you guys are the jokes. You guys and you girls, whoever or whatever you want to identify as, you are the jokes. You are what is putting a bad name on our election. Some people say it's the Electoral College. No, it is not. It is people like you who do not take our elections seriously. Who, when their presidential candidate does not win the Electoral College, or does not even win the popular vote, or either one, says that the election was stolen. If you cannot handle your presidential candidate losing, you do not deserve the right to say anything about the presidential election. I've done a lot. I mean, a lot in my community talking about, my thoughts on who should win the 2020 election. I talk to people at work. I talk to people at the grocery store. I talk to people who just will listen. Okay? I make my point. But if the presidential candidate that I support did not get elected in, and I made it out to be this election to be a joke, then all the hard work that I've done defending the presidential candidate that I chose, or defending the election that we have had for hundreds of years to be a joke, then what I'm really doing is spitting in the face of every person who has come forth and voted for the President of the United States. I'm spitting in the face of every President of the United States in history, every member of the Senate in history, every member of the House of Representatives in history, and every single American citizen throughout all of history. Not only that, but I would also be spitting on the Constitution. Okay? I know this is a very serious thing, but if you cannot take our election seriously, then you have no reason to talk about it. You have no reason to go, well, they stole the votes. No, because you know what you do? Right there, you are sounding like a toddler who got upset because they had their juice taken away, or they had to go to timeout. You don't sound like an adult who, put their voice in, who's like, I want this person to be the President of the United States. You don't sound like somebody who cares about the country. Instead, you sound like somebody who takes the entire thing as a joke, and you only vote for the person that you like, and if they don't win, then the other person cheated. Okay? Now I'm ending the video off here. if you guys have watched the end and I made good points, please share it. I want everybody to see it. And hey, if this video pissed you off and you're like, oh my god, he just called me a bad name, he said I was acting like a toddler, then go ahead, share it. Tell all the people that, tell all the people what you think about this video. Okay? I didn't want to make this video talking about politics, but the one thing I do want to do is I want to make sure that from this point forward, all of our elections for the presidency, for the House of Representatives, and for the Senate are taken seriously. And that we have no excuse for people to say that the election was stolen other than sore losers.